Hello, everyone. This is Kerwin, and welcome to another episode of Travel Talk. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about what's the best way to book your flights or your accommodation. Let's go. So first, we're going to talk about flights. Uh, I highly recommend booking your flights on the airline's website. The reason why this is the case is if something happens to the flight or you need to make changes, you just go directly to the airline and you don't have a third party. Now, I say this, I'm a travel advisor, and I say this because I know some people don't want to book your own travels, and that's fine. If you don't want to book your own travels, then I can take care of it for you, which is also fine. Uh, but it's still best for you to book with the source. Because here's what happens. And I've had so many examples of this. I booked online a ticket with an online travel agency. I got to the airport and I had a problem. And I had a problem because the ticket was booked incorrectly. I called the agency to help me and they couldn't. Had I booked it with the airline, they wouldn't have been able to change it right there for me and I would have been fine. But I had to go through the travel agency who booked it to fix the problem. They took forever. They never fixed the problem. I actually ended up having to buy a ticket and do what I needed to do. Now, I've also bought other tickets with a travel agency and it worked fine. No problems. Everything is good. But the issue is that when there is a problem, there's another problem, and I can't deal with that. So my recommendation is to book at the airline. The fare is usually the same, although when I had the issue, the fare was not the same. The reason why I booked it using the travel agency was because the fare on the travel agency was a little cheaper. And actually, they were giving me a routing that I couldn't book on the airline's website. And so, I went with them and that didn't work out so well. So my recommendation is use the airline to book if you can. Sometimes you can't. Like uh, if you're booking a ticket that's between two separate airlines, you won't be able to do that on the airline website unless that airline has a relationship with the other airline. So it gets a little complex. But if you can book it yourself, book it online, and that should be good. Booking hotels. Booking hotels is a little more trickier because it depends on what you want to do. There's Airbnb out there. There is what's the other one? VRBO, which is booking, and I have links to all these. It's passradar.com/VRBO, passradar.com/Expedia, passradar.com/Skyscanner, because not everyone wants to do the travel by themselves, right? So if you want to go to book a flight, passradar.com/Skyscanner or passradar.com/Expedia, whichever one you want. But I'm just telling you how I do it and why I do it the way that I do it and why I recommend that you follow this practice. So when you book a hotel, if you book directly with the hotel, so for example, let's say you booked with Hilton. If you go to Hilton.com and book, put your frequent traveler number in and all that, then you're going to get your points very good, right? If you book with an agency and you go to the Hilton, you're not going to get your points and you're not going to get your perks. That's just how it works because they want you to book directly with them. Because when you book directly with them, they don't have to pay commissions to the source that's bringing them the booking, which makes sense. They're trying to save money, right? So just make sure if you're a frequent traveler and you want to get your points, you have to book directly with the partner, the hotel. Otherwise, you can go to Expedia and book, password.com/Expedia, or you can go any online agency and do your booking. If that's what you want to do, that's okay. Just remember, if you have an issue, you have to call the agency that you booked it with. You can't call the hotel because you didn't book it with them. Another thing too is to make sure that look for cancellation policies. So if you know that your travel plans are going to be changing, I have a lot of airline employees on my channel, and if you know that your um, travel plans are going to be changing, don't book something where you can't cancel it more than 2 days out or something. Otherwise, you get charged. You want to book something that you don't need to cancel until the day of arrival in case you have to cancel. Otherwise, typically most of them you'll forfeit at least one night. Sometimes some is 2 nights. Sometimes there's like a 10% fee. So just read the terms. The first thing I do when I'm booking a hotel is I figure out how close is that hotel to where I'm going to be, or how close is it to the airport, and what am I going to do on my trip. And so sometimes I'll book at the airport because I know that I'm going to do some stuff in the city, but then I'm going to be in the city all day. I've already seen the city. I don't need to go out at night and stuff like that. So I'll do everything I want in the city, and I'm going to come back to the airport because my flight the next morning is at 6 a.m. And already I have to get up early. So imagine if I'm not staying at the airport. So those are the kind of things that you look at. Sometimes you do stuff like, do they have a shuttle? Some hotels do not have a shuttle to the airport. And so if they don't have a shuttle to the airport, you need to figure out, how am I going to get to the airport when I have a 6 a.m. flight the next morning, right? If I'm not staying at the airport. So those are the things that you look into. If you're going to stay in the city, that's fine, but you need to also figure out my transportation. How do I get from the city to the airport, right? Now that you have like shared ride services, it makes it a little easier. But prior to that, we had taxis, and taxis worked fine. So just think about that when you're booking. Sometimes the websites are not clear. They don't really tell you exactly what perks you get and things like that. So make sure you do check that. So for hotels, you can book directly with the hotel, or you can use an online agency. There's there's the Airbnbs, there's a VRBO, which is for um, rentals, property rentals and things like that. Vacation rentals is a term I'm looking for. So just think about that when you need to book. Shop around. Typically, the prices are the same. Some hotels will allow you, like if the price goes down, they will be able to give you like the difference or something like that. Some won't. One thing you also check, if you're going to use your points and miles to book, then you have to book directly with the airline, with the airline, and also you have to book directly with the hotel. That's typically how that works in order to use your points, because the agencies don't have access to your points and all that kind of good stuff. Also, sometimes if you're going to book a particular rate, you may have to, or you're going to use your points, you'll have to transfer your points from, say, your credit card company, and you can transfer those to the airline that you want. And then once you transfer those to the airline, you can go and book and pay with your airline. Same thing for the hotel as well. What you normally should do is you have to do, and sometimes this is not simultaneous. They've gotten much better now. So let's say you have American Express membership reward points. You would go to the membership reward, find the person you want to transfer to, do the transfer. Then you have to go over to the airline website that you've transferred to, or the hotel, see if the points are there, then go book your travel using the points, if that's what you want to do. It is, like I said, it's a lot better than it used to be. But just bear it in mind that sometimes it's not immediate. Sometimes it may take up to 24 hours to go. And then when you go to book the ticket, the availability is not there anymore because it's 24 hours later. But then you can't transfer the points back to American Express because some of them, I think most, if not all, you can just transfer one way and that's it, you're done. So just make sure you do that. Sometimes what you can do, you can call the airline, tell them what's going on. It depends on your status. They'll be able to help you. So I think that should help in terms of where you book things and when you book things and why you should book where you book. This is Corey from the Travel Talk. Have a great trip. Talk to you soon.